Okay, here's my Roland SP 404A sampler. It's quite a nice machine. It's got inbuilt effects. One thing I really like about it, you can kind of perform live with it if you want to. It's got an inbuilt mic input that lets you affect things as well and can affect your live mic output. That's really great. The workflow, some people like it. It's very organic. So, but since this came out in the last couple of years, you've had the Roland, the Mark II version come out, and there's many new features on that. You can kind of multi-layer effects, but perhaps one of the most significant features is that you can chop samples. You've got a visual representation of your samples, whereas this one is done very much by ear. I think that can work for some type of producers who kind of like that organic feel with things slightly being off time or can be, and just do it by feel. Me personally, I like to have my kind of samples precise. So getting your samples, feeding them in here and chopping them up here can be a little bit tedious if you like. The way I prefer to do it, and I recommend it, you can do it kind of in your computer and then just import samples here. So in many ways I've circumvented my possible thoughts about getting a Mark II simply because this pretty much does everything I want it to do anyway. And I got it secondhand. It's in excellent condition, so for me this solution works. I'm just going to show you how I do it because I think this is by far the best and quickest solution. It's using software called MPC Beats, which is free. I do have MPC, the full software, but you have to pay for that. So, or basically it does come with some of their hardware. So I'm just going to use MPC Beats simply because it's open and accessible to anybody. So let me just show you how quick and easy it is to create chops using that. Okay, so here we are in MPC Beats, the free software I was talking about earlier. So we're on our home screen here, and where we want to navigate to is our waveform sample editor here. So we click on that one there. We've got nothing in the window here, but over here we use, these are all our kind of folder browsers. You can kind of define where these are, and all you have to do is basically on any one of these navigate to where you're keeping your samples. Okay, on this one I'm coming to desktop, so I've put one on my desktop. There's the sample I'm going to be working for, which is sample.wav. This is taken from the great Grandmaster Flash hip hop band, way early on, but just some superb sounds. And actually they did a lot of sampling. They were probably the key exponents, if you should know about them, key exponents of sampling in the early days when they literally did it just from playing records and scratching them. So let's load this in, sample.wav. There we go, double click on it. It's actually bigger than that, it's just the scale of this. So there's my sample. It's not the full song, by the way, so I'm just going to take a few short snaps of this. Let me just press play on here. There we go.
You say one for the trouble, two for the time. Come on, girls, let's rock that.
5-5 Freddy told me everybody slide.
So the great thing about, you can hear they've got something from Blondie there, and these are from elsewhere. So I'm just going to take a few of these tiny snapshots and turn them into chops so that I can put them into my pads on the Roland SP 404. So the way we do this is come into your chop button here. So initially we're in trim, click on chop. So there's a couple of ways we can do this, but the way I like to do it is just manually. Okay, so I'm just going to go along here and mark just before we kind of get the transition into a big you know what I mean, you make the transitions, and if you can come in, zoom in there, we can define them a bit better here, like so. Okay, I'm just randomly picking these out here. I have no idea what's being said or what's being played, but obviously with more time you can work out exactly what you want here. But I quite like the randomness of this, to be honest, because it'll come out a bit strange, and I might think what I'm going to do with that, but this is just to give you an idea of how we do it. Let's do another chop there. And what I like about this method, very precise, as you can see here. So I'm literally just almost going in at microscopic level, if you like. There we go. Let's put a couple more of these in. And depending on how precise you want to be, you can literally go in here and really zoom in and make sure you get those on the edge. But to be honest, you don't need to be exactly precise. You don't want to be too clinical about it, although some might say I'm being. Right, I think we've got enough now. Let me just do a couple more just because I'm being greedy on my sample chops here. There we go. So all we need to do now, I got my chops in, and then we come down here to a button, to this menu here. It's the bottom part says extract new samples. Okay, you've got slice to pad. We're not going to do that because that takes puts it in these pads here in the actual MPC software. I'm just going to make what's called a new program out of it. So it kind of makes we're not going to use it for this basically. My intention is to put it on the Roland 404, but you can. But even so, if you create a new program, it also creates a new program so that you can recall it quickly for the MPC software. But let's just click that new program. I'm going to click these. It says crop samples, create new program. Yes, so let's do it. There we go. And it shouldn't take very long. It's generating it here over to the side. Let me just come there. You can see this progress bar here. Oh, it's already done it. There we go. And these are your samples. So it looks like it's generated about, I would say, 30 samples or so, possibly. And to be honest, that's it. I'm just going to save it here. File, save project. So it will save these samples. There we go. And as far as the MPC software is concerned, that's it. Okay, so MPC Beats, basically, when I created those samples, it exported them into this folder here. I say this folder, into a folder in my MPC Beats file, and I called it Grandmaster. So these are all the samples. Let's have a quick listen to some of them.
You see.
There we go. Some are short, some are longer, obviously. You just got a bit of a snippet of what they sound like. So the next thing you need to do, I mean, these sound like a few steps, but to be honest, once you've got them all up and running, it's a really smooth and super fast process. You need to install this software here. I say, once you've done it once, then there's no much hassle after that, is there? The software is called SP404SX Wave Converter. Okay, so it's all run off SD card, which you've got out of your Roland. So that's plugged into my computer in drive I. I then have to tell it which bank I want to work with. So there's several banks on the Roland. It goes from bank A to I. So at the minute I'm going to select A. Okay, I'm going to select one of these and just click import. A sample already exists at the specified pad. Okay to overwrite it, yes. So I'm going to overwrite it. Let's have a quick look here. So where are my documents? I'm going to look for MPC Beats. There it is. Go to my Grandmaster folder. There we are. And this is just a case now of, there we go, and click sample one. Click sample one, open. Yeah, and that's imported that one. Similarly, 2, import. So it's just checking me with me there basically, because I've got some samples in it already. S3, there we go. Oh, hang on, can't change that one. Import 4, yeah, okay. So it's quite handy that these are actually numbered, and then I've numbered these as well. Import 5, okay, like that. Import, okay, 6. What's happened there? That's worked. Import 7, yeah. I'm just going to do 8 probably, just to give you the gist of how it goes. Import 8, open. Let's do a couple more because these haven't been overwritten These aren't overwriting. And we'll final 112. Now you could, or did I do 12? 12, did I do 11? Not keeping my wits around me here, am I? There we go. Okay, and that should be it. So I could, if I wanted to, populate the rest of these banks. There you go, C. That's it. There we go. There's a whole load of other banks I could populate if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. Okay, I'm going to exit. Okay, so the SD card is now back in the Roland SP404. All the samples are mapped to bank A now. Some are duplicates, to be honest. I'm just going to give you a quick rendition. I'm not playing this as such because I'm holding it in this hand here. But there we go.